Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Who's ready for some grand national flat track motorcycle racing? Let me hear you make some noise. We are glad to be here. It's the Dirt Track Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is round number 10 of the AMA Pro Grand National Flat Track Series. And again, we are glad to be back. We haven't been here since 2002. The track looks beautiful. We've got a great night of racing action. This is opening ceremonies. Our first heat race will start here 6:30 out here on the East Coast time. Our first people we'd like to bring up is actually our trophy girls. Please welcome up here to the stage Rebecca, Kelsey, and Angela, our beautiful trophy girls for tonight. All three of them going to make this stage look awesome all night long. Come on up, ladies. Two from the Harley-Davidson Motor Company and one from Vance Hines. Welcome to the victory podium. Up next, I'd like to bring up my partner for the first year. Actually, it's the first time you get to see him in person. He is the 7-time champion at AMA Pro Racing. Please welcome number 4 in your heart. It is Chris Carr. Chris, welcome to Charlotte. You actually raced here. You left here in flames the last time you were here.
Yeah, I caught one on fire here, I think it was 2000 or 2001, something like that. But hopefully the racing action tonight will be a lot hotter than it was then.
Well, you never know what's going to happen here tonight. We'd already picked our favorites earlier. We just saw the pre-show just wrapped up. What's it going to take to pull out a victory here at Charlotte Motor Speedway?
This track here can be very technical, or you may have to throw caution to the wind. I'm thinking when the sun goes down, we're going to see a little bit of both, and that's when the action's going to get real hot and heavy.
We saw a lot of the fast guys drop into the very bottom of the racetrack. I would call that the Rich King line. If you know the veteran race fans, he always goes to the bottom. Also, a few riders like Dan Bromley went all the way up to the air fence. We'll call that the Kevin Atherton line. So where is the preferred line going to be tonight?
Whichever line gets them to that stripe first, I think, is the preferred line, and that's going to change as the night goes on. I like to call that line down there on the bottom of the racetrack the Pee Wee line. I think we want to see more people up on the Kevin Atherton line.
Well, you never know what's going to happen. Like you said, the track will change all night long. Is that going to be, the rider's responsibility to keep up with it, or the tuner, or is it a combination of both?
Well, I think it's both, but you can't put all the responsibility on the tuner. Somewhere along the way, once the green light goes on for a 25-lap main event, if you miss your setup, the rider's going to have to try and ride around that in order to get a great result. But somewhere along the way, they're all responsible in their own way.
Well, we wish you well here tonight. This is your first time calling the shots up here. You're a play-by-play announcer. You're going all the way to the back straightaway, so I'll see you when I get there in about 25 minutes.
All right. Thanks for having me up, Scotty. Welcome everybody back to the dirt track at Charlotte. Looking forward to many more years.
That is the 7-time champion, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Carr, doing the color commentating here tonight. Up next, I'd like to bring up 4 of our riders, actually one at a time, and this first rider is actually coming off of the couch. He rode Peoria to a 6th place finish, and here tonight he gets to ride the factory Harley-Davidson for the very first time. He's our Motobat hard charger from Peoria. Please welcome number 5, Jersey Jake Johnson. Look like he's over there taking a nap. He's trying to get all rested up before he goes to battle. Here he comes, Jake Johnson. Like I said, started way back there on the 3rd row and worked his way up to a 6th place finish at Peoria. Jake, welcome up here to the podium. How are you feeling tonight?
Feeling okay. It's been a bit of a struggle so far. We came out of the gate, first round of practice, and was like 3rd overall. And man, I didn't miss a beat. And then qualifying came around, and track changed a bit and started to struggle a little bit. I think we ended up 14th or 15th overall, but we're getting it figured out. New bike, new team, kind of getting all the bugs worked out. So track's going to be better tonight. It's got a lot more moisture in it, a little more grip. So I think we should be good.
So some of our fans might not know, but Brad Baker, the factory Harley rider, caught some debris in his leg, broke his leg. He's going to set out a few rounds. You got the phone call. Tell us about how all that went down, and what was it like getting the call to ride the factory Harley?
Oh, it was great. Obviously I was just sitting home doing nothing, didn't have a ride. So, unfortunately a bad deal for Brad. He had a heck of a year going, and for it to end, something stupid like that, is definitely a bum deal. But I'm going to do my best, try to fill them shoes. Got some great bikes, great crew. Harley-Davidson, they're my favorite bikes to ride. That's what I've had most of my success through my career on, and just going to go out and make the best of it. Still got a few cobwebs to shake out, but, I got to thank those guys. Got to thank Brad, Chris Schoonover, Craig Lager, Mike Hacker, Brett Pankey with Showa, the whole crew for getting behind it. Those guys could have easily just stayed home until Brad healed up, but it gave me a chance.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this paycheck right here. $250 goes in your pocket because of you started on the third row there at Peoria, worked your way all the way up to a sixth place finish. That had to feel pretty good coming off the couch.
Yeah, it was good. You know, Peoria is probably one of the toughest tracks we go to each year. So coming from not really riding to straight to Peoria, you know, I wasn't really sure what to expect. And, you know, came out of there, the end result wasn't what we wanted. You know, I think we were better than sixth, but decided to throw it on the ground in my heat race and have to go through a semi. But, yeah, I mean, it was good. Like I said, coming off the couch and going to Peoria and coming out with a top 10 and had the speed to be a little better. So, like I said, it was encouraging, and you know, it was definitely a good warm up for this place here. And you know, this is a different beast for sure. You know, back on the Big Twins, back on this beautiful Charlotte half mile. So still got some things to figure out, but looking forward to it.
Well, I asked Chris Carr just a moment ago, what's going to be the key to a victory? In your opinion, what's it going to be?
Man, it's going to be corner speed. You know, this track out here is it's all corners. You know, there's a little bit of straightaway here, but corners are tricky in qualifying earlier. You know, the kind of grooved up on the bottom, was kind of dry. Now it's got some moisture in it with the rubber still there. So it's all going to be about, you know, obviously getting a start. You know, that's you know, the thing everybody says, you know, it helps. But it's going to be corner speed, you know, and finding that right line through the corner and keep your momentum rolling.
Well, you thank most of your sponsors. You want to say thanks to anyone else?
Yeah, just got to thank, you know, Harley-Davidson Motor Company, Screaming Eagle, the whole crew, my wife Jody, my whole family, everybody that stood behind me, you know, during my hiatus, and got to thank NJK Leathers for getting some leathers built, you know, some nice factory Harley leathers built up for me in a couple days. So, you know, the list goes on, but you know, I'm just happy to be back.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, the words from number 5. Keep your eyes on Jake Johnson. Gets the nod to ride the factory Harley-Davidson tonight. He was our Motobat hard charger from Peoria. Up next, I'd like to bring up our Saddlemen Seats and Saddlebags Rookie of the Year points leader coming into tonight. He's got number 17F on the number plate. Next year, he will have a national number. Please welcome the young man from Ohio. They call him Jared Vanderkoy. The Flying Dutchman is what I'm hearing they're calling him. Jared, welcome up here to the podium. How you feeling tonight?
Doing really good, you know, had a brain fart during practice and forgot to put a transponder on, but we're feeling good. We're 7th overall, and I'm really liking the track.
Is that part of those rookie jitters you have? You haven't shown that all season long.
No, I made a mistake at home on one of the bikes, didn't do something right, so I put it on the bike and it didn't start, so I had to jump on the other one again. So I don't know, we're feeling good and ready for the night show.
Well, I heard Chu and Mia, you know, they said your nickname's the Flying Dutchman. Is that going to stick? You going to go with that, or you like that?
Oh, I don't mind it. I've had a couple of them that I like, so we'll see what sticks.
All right, tell us what it's going to take to pull out a victory here tonight. We heard Chris Carr, and we just heard Jake Johnson. What's it going to take for a victory for you?
It's going to take 25 solid laps. You know, we got to ride the whole 25 hard, get off the line with them. That's been a struggle this whole year. We had to get off the line, and we figured it out thanks to fast feed corporatization. We got a good shifting linkage on it now, so hopefully we can roll the top at the end of the night and put on a great show for your fans.
We saw some riders run the high line. We've seen some in the bottom. Looked like you were running high most of the practice sessions and qualifying. Is that where you're going to run tonight, or do you not want those guys in the pits to hear that?
Oh, I'm not sure. You know, they've tried it in practice, so they know what it's like, and I think that's what my bike was set up for. But we're just going to move around a little bit in this heat race and see what we got. It was a little slick on the bottom, so we had to move up, and I try to keep my momentum around the top. So I'm looking forward to it and ready for the night.
All right, before we let you go to work, you want to say thanks to anyone?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the whole Don's Kawasaki, DPC Racing, Woody Kyle Racing, Ben Evans, Dave Cycle, Spectre Oils, Fast Feed Corporatization, and just all the fans for coming out, you know, sticking it out through this weather. I know it's nice and humid out there, but hopefully we can put on a great race for you guys.
I almost forgot to mention, you're the Saddlemen Seats and Saddlebags Rookie of the Year. If you win that at the end of the season, you got to keep up what you're doing here so far. You win $5,000. That'd be pretty cool from Saddlemen.
Yeah, definitely. $5,000 could go a whole way, so I'm excited for it, and hopefully we can keep this all season long.
All right, best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Keep your eyes on the 17F, ladies and gentlemen, our Saddlemen Seats and Saddlebags Rookie of the Year leader coming in. Up next, I'd like to bring up our GNC2 points leader. If he wins the GNC2 points championship, he'll take home the Tommy Duma Fine Jewelers, this brand new championship ring. Please welcome number 67M, Dashin Davis Fisher. Davis, you're all suited up. You're ready to go. You're in our first heat race because you're the fast qualifier tonight. What's been your key so far for being running so fast here?
Yeah, first session, I didn't really expect the track to be the way it is. Kind of slickened up, and we just had to adapt to it. And I can't thank Team 95 enough, Parks and Brothers Racing, for giving me a bike to ride tonight, and KW for making me a new suit, and it looks awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, look at that beautiful ring right there. That's a one-of-a-kind ring. It's the first time that Tommy Duma has done that so far this year. If you win the championship, we have just a few rounds left. That ring will be yours.
Yeah, it'll be cool to have, wear it, and try not to get it dirty.
Well, Jared got a Rolex last year. He said he only wears it on special occasions. Would you wear that thing all the time, or just put it on a trophy shelf, or what would you do with it?
I'd probably just put it on a trophy shelf.
How much twin experience do you have? I know that we only run the twins in the GNC2 class at just a handful of rounds. Have you been practicing on your twin?
No, actually, this is my first half-mile race, so we're just trying to get on with the day and hopefully come back with a couple more points and extend the points lead.
So the first half mile of the year, first half mile for you on the twin in your fast qualifier. That's got to build your confidence up a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just 2 years ago or so, I got a test day on TJ Burnett Farms, Kawasaki, and that's about it ever since then.
All right, sounds good. Well, you say thanks to everybody. You got anybody else?
Yeah, I got Parks and Brothers Racing, Team 95, Bob Lanfears, Beefton Honda, Danwell Racing, KW Racewear, Arai Helmets, Saddleman Seats, Allied Motors, and everyone else for coming out. This is an awesome facility.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. He is our GNC2 points leader and our fast qualifier tonight. That is Dashin Davis Fisher, number 67M. I've got one more rider to bring up here, ladies and gentlemen, that's racing with us tonight. He is our GNC1 points leader. That's the Harley-Davidson GNC1 class presented by Vance Hines. Our points leader's coming up, and if he wins this championship, he'll take home his second consecutive Rolex. He's got number 1 on his number plate. Please welcome Jared Mees. Jammer, welcome back up here to the podium. You know where the podium is, and you know what that Rolex looks like because you have one of those already.
Yes, I do. It's a watch that I wear when I go out and have a good time for sure. You know, it's something I don't wear every day just because it's a little on the nice side for me.
Well, we're out right now. We're having a good time. Where's your watch?
I got to get ready to race, so it's like I said, I can't afford, to have a nick or a scratch, and it's too cool.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to scratch that up. You know, a flat tracker with the Rolex, man, that is pretty neat. So let's talk about tonight. You got a pretty commanding lead right now. You picked up your first win of the season at Rapid City. You ran a solid race at Peoria the last round we were at with a second place finish. What's in store for tonight?
This is a nice red clay half mile. We've all been wanting to come back, and we're finally back here. So hats off to everybody that made that happen. This is awesome. But, it's a different racetrack than Black Hills for sure. It's this red clay, and, it's definitely a little bit slicker than Black Hills, and we're starting a little earlier. So hopefully that we can get that moisture to come up, and we'll have a real racy track like it was in the past.
Well, Chris Carr talked about running at the bottom is the Pee Wee line, running up top's Kevin Atherton line. Where do you think the number 1 will be running?
Well, sometimes the Pee Wee line is the fastest way around, so if it's the fastest way around, I'll be on the Pee Wee line. But, in practice, at the very end of practice, we've seen some guys moving up to the top there, and with them putting a lot of water on it, like I said, hopefully this moisture comes up. We'll be able to move around and, have some good opportunities to pass and really get it on. Practice was a little bit of a tiptoe, and I slowed down to go fast, and we want to get out there and put the coals to it.
You got a 29-point lead coming into tonight. Are you going to be, points racing tonight, or are you going for the win?
Oh, definitely going for the win. I only got one win this season, and it's just not good enough for the stature team we have and everybody involved. So we definitely want to get some wins. And 29 points sounds like a lot, but something happens, and Brian Smith goes out there and wins it and capitalizes on it. It could shrink and be rolling out of here with only a few in the lead, and we're going to Springfield. So, just got to take one race at a time, and there's some definitely good racetracks coming up for me, and I'm pretty excited for the rest of the season.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the 42 because he's fast qualifier and just a skosh faster than everybody else. So what's it going to take to beat him tonight?
Well, of course, everybody's going to say a good start, and that's definitely a big key. But, just to be consistent out there and try to get out there and run your own race. The racetrack's totally different now. Like I said, the sun's going down. They got a lot of water into it now. So everything in qualifying is basically out the window.
All right, we got that Tommy Duma Fine Jewelers watch right there, and that could be yours. That Rolex could be yours, but I know you want to say thanks to your sponsors as well.
Well, I do want to thank Tommy Duma for not only being one of my sponsors, but to give the opportunity to have a Rolex is really awesome. You know, like I said, I didn't think I'd ever in a million years ever buy one for myself, and it's awesome to be able to earn it in that special way. So the whole Rogers Racing team, Las Vegas, Harley-Davidson is a big one. Kenny Tolbert, Sammy Sweet, them guys are big parts of it. The Harley-Davidson Motor Company, and like I said, the whole AMA Pro Racing, Steve McLaughlin for getting us back here into Charlotte. This is really cool.
All right, best luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
There's our points leader, ladies and gentlemen, in the GNC1 class, and he is looking for his second consecutive Rolex from Tommy Duma Fine Jewelers. That takes care of most of our riders, so now let's bring up one of our sponsors. Actually, it is our title sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. He is here from the Harley-Davidson Motor Corporation. Please welcome Chris Schoonover. And I have to throw his beard's coming up here, too, because he's proud of that thing. Chris, welcome up here to the podium here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. How cool is this to be down here in NASCAR country? A lot of race fans are here, a lot of NASCAR people are here, and you're here too.
It's great to be here, great weather. I've never been to this track, I've seen it before, but I can't wait to watch a Harley-Davidson win tonight.
You're pretty confident that a Harley's going to win. You got a Kawasaki's fast qualifier so far. What's it going to take to pull out the victory for the Harley-Davidson Motor Company?
I think handling in the corners is really what's going to do it for the Harleys. We've got speed up, but handling is really good.
So you guys made the phone call, got a hold of Jake Johnson. He's here riding the factory Harley. You seem pretty confident.
Yeah, Jake's a great guy. I've known Jake ever since he was a champ in 10 and 11. He was available, and he was a natural choice.
Well, he's on the bike until Brad Baker's ready to go. When's Brad going to be back?
We're not going to push it. We know that this really cut Brad's championship hopes out, so we're going to let Brad heal up. If it takes him all year, it takes him all year. We're really not going to rush it.
Sounds good. What's new with Harley-Davidson Motor Company? I know the Harley-Davidson dealer meeting just wrapped up out there in Las Vegas, and what's new? What's on the horizon for Harley?
We've got some great new Harleys. We've got a couple of new Sportsters. We've got some bigger motor options for some of our cruisers, and we have the Road Glide Ultra that's back in the lineup since it took a hiatus for a couple of years.
Sounds good. Well, have fun and cheer on your Harleys, and best luck to you tonight.
Thanks, Scotty. Take care.
That's Chris Schoonover, ladies and gentlemen, from the Harley-Davidson Motor Corporation. Up next, we got a really cool video from a race earlier in this year. I'd like to bring up one of our riders that's actually involved highly in this race. I don't know where he's at there. He's hiding back over there. Let's bring up national number 32. Let's bring up Sean Bear, and then let's check out this cool video if we could. Sean, come on up here. Hold on a second. Sean Bear's behind you. Hold on. Sean Bear, come on up here. It's hard to hear down here in the infield. The speakers are pointing towards the fans. Sean, welcome up here to the podium. Let's see. I can't see the screen. Let's see if we can find a way to look at the screen. I can't see it, but let's check out this video of Sean Bear when he crashed there at the Indianapolis Mile. It's pretty spectacular. I don't know if I can barely see it up there, but this is the rider that just went for that wild ride a couple of weeks ago at Indianapolis. Sean, come on over here. First off, a lot of fans want to know, are you okay? And you look like you're in all one piece.
I am, and I'm actually very blessed to be here. You know, I've had a lot of outpouring support and a lot of people that I didn't even know were interested in the sport, let alone myself. And it's been a good thing, even though I look at it as a bad thing still. It's turned out to be one of the biggest events in my career so far, and it's been a changing event for me for sure.
Some of these fans that are here have never seen an air fence, and we have them wrapped in the corners in the high impact zones, and I believe that helped keep you from flying out of the racetrack or kept you out of the wall or the guardrail or whatever might have been there. So the air fence, are you a fan of the air fence?
I am, personally. There's speculation of what could have been and how it could have went, and I've had those conversations with myself and numerous people, and I really don't think it could have went any better than it did based off of my mistake. I was too high on the racetrack and got up over the berm, and it was too late to save it at that time. I mean, basically 12 inches at 100 mile an hour, it was a blink of the eye and I was in the wall, and that air fence just kind of sucked me in, and actually for that, it was a good thing. It exploded the bike and sent the front end across the racetrack, and if Henry Wiles can hear me, I'm glad that it was just a face shield that took off that helmet, not actually him off his bike. So
it was a pretty spectacular moment. I'm glad you're okay. When you speculated on coming back to get back into racing?
The plan is for Springfield. I mean, this was the plan, but obviously that, plans just didn't come together fast enough. But I have things in line and a lot of people willing to do their part this week. actually, I have some time. I have about a week left of vacation at work, and I think this is going to be the week I take it so I can be back for Springfield.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming down here, telling your fans and everybody that's who watches AMA Pro Flat Track on Fans Choice and live here in Charlotte that you're okay. And again, we're glad you're okay. We'll see you in Springfield.
Well, thank you, Scotty. And I got tons of people to thank, and I'm probably not even going to cover them all. But, you know, SBR, I started that over last winter, and it's been a growing process. But, you know, I got a lot of people behind me. Straight Hour Trucking, McNews Automotive, Rottweiler Performance, and it's just a ton of people. Saddlemen, they've came on board. Tommy Duma. There's just an outpouring support of everybody that, you know, there's so many people that are helping me, and I'm so passionate about this sport. It's so hard to put it all together here just on this stage. So if you want to follow it, Sean Bear Racing on Facebook. I'm going to be posting all week as far as just keep up on that, and you can follow the return of the number 32.
Sounds good. We're glad you're okay. We'll see you in Springfield.
Thank you, and thanks to everybody for coming out and supporting this, and everybody, you know, for making it a possible outcome to maybe have it next year. So.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Bear, the rider that took that wild ride at Indianapolis. Well, this event is the Don Tilley Memorial. We're going to bring up our presenting sponsors for helping make this happen. These folks are here from the Carolina Harley-Davidson Dealers Association, which is our presenting sponsor. Please welcome Phil Schoonover, Amy Thomas, and Robbie Cox. They're coming up to the stage right now. The Carolina Harley-Davidson Dealers Association, that's Amy. We're going to start over here with Phil Schoonover. Phil, welcome up here to the victory podium. We got a great night of racing coming up, and this race is in memoriam and in honor of Don Tilley, a good friend of yours and a mentor.
Yes, sir, he was. Don was my mentor when I became a dealer. We rode cross country several times to dealer shows or whatever. He talked me into going to the 883 class for the road racing, and we rode together to every race, 92, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A great friend. Don's love was motorcycles, but his passion was racing, and this is perfect.
Perfect way to honor a great man. You got one funny story you want to tell us real quick?
I remember, Don, we were sitting in an AMA meeting, and Pat Maroney said, Don Tilley taught Schoonover everything he knows. Don quickly corrected that. He said, Don Tilley taught Phil Schoonover everything Phil Schoonover knows.
There you go. That's a great Don Tilley story. This is Amy right here. She's with Speedway Harley-Davidson right here in Concord, North Carolina. Amy, thanks for being a part of it. And let's talk to Robbie Cox, who is our president of the Carolina Harley-Davidson Dealers Association. Thanks for being our presenting sponsor here at this awesome event.
Hey, Scott, I'm just so happy to be a part of the organization that has a part in bringing back the flat track racing to the Carolina area. I'm a third-generation Harley-Davidson dealer and grew up going to the racetrack, and what flat track racing means to this area and our brand is so steeped in history. And just to be a part of being able to bring this show, which what we call the greatest show on dirt, back to the Charlotte area is an awesome privilege, and representing the 32 dealers in the Carolina Harley-Davidson Dealers Association. And making this happen is just a heck of a deal. So appreciate you having us.
Well, thanks a lot, and I know you guys will be cheering on our Harley-Davidson tonight.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our presenting sponsor, the folks from the Carolina Harley-Davidson Dealers Association. Up next, we got some special folks going to be coming out right now. We're going to have a Don Tilley Memorial Ride around the racetrack, and that is going to be, the riders are going to be Gene Church, the legend himself, Jay Springsteen, and one of the most famous road racers from around here, Trip Nobles, are going to take a lap around right now. And also, I'd like to bring up Gretchen Digby. Gretchen, come on up here to the stage. She's going to sing a song. We've got a tribute video we're going to be playing on the big screen. And Gretchen's going to be singing an original song of her own, and she's also going to be singing one of Don Tilley's favorites. So we'll start that parade right now, coming off of turn number 4, just like the rest of the bikes are. And then as soon as that ride gets going around here, again, Gene Church, Jay Springsteen, and Trip Nobles, and I believe also Don Tilley's daughter, Donna Tilley Pierce, is also going to go around on this lap right here. And then we have a special award we're going to hand out here at the Don Tilley Memorial Ride. So Gretchen, let's see if we get that parade going. Looks like they're strapping on their helmets. Safety's always first. Are you ready to sing for all these fans here?
Absolutely.
All right, you don't even seem nervous.
Oh, I am.
You're nervous? I won't tell anybody else. So, all right, well, the parade ride's coming out. This is the Don Tilley Memorial Ride, and here to sing, please welcome Gretchen Digby.
remember the light in your eyes when you looked at me. I didn't realize the way you cherished every simple word I said. Looking back, had I only known. I remember all the times that we shared. You had your special way of showing just how much you cared. In everything I did, I knew you would always be there, right by my side. Had I only known, had I only known our time together would end, I would have told you every day that you would be my best friend. This life without you is so hard to comprehend. Things would be different had I only known you'd be gone. Now it's for you. This is Dawn's favorite. Just take those old records off the shelf, sit and listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Don't try to take me to a disco. You'll never even get me out on the floor. In 10 minutes I'll be late for the door. Start playing old time rock and roll. You like that old time rock and roll. The kind of music just soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old in that old time rock and roll. Don't wanna hear 'em playing tango. I'd rather hear some blues, some funky old soul. There's only one sure way to get me to go. Start playing old time rock and roll. Say I'm a passion, say I'm over the hill. There's only one sure way to get me to go. Start playing old time rock and roll. Till I get old time rock and roll. Kind of music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old with that old time rock and roll.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Don Tilley Memorial Ride. At this time, we'd like to present an award to Don Tilley's daughter. Come up here to the victory podium, Donna Tilley Pierce, ladies and gentlemen, and a very special award will be brought up here. The award says the Don Tilley Memorial Charlotte Half Mile on August 29, 2015 is dedicated to the memory of William Don Tilley, a well-liked and world-renowned tuner, race manager, dealer, and friend of racing. Again, Don Tilley was born 1936 and passed away in 2014. That's Phil Schoonover going to hand the award over. And again, that's Donna Tilley Pierce. That is for you, commemorating this race here tonight.
On behalf of the Carolina Harley-Davidson Dealers Association and everyone affected with racing, we present this to you and your family.
That is awesome. Donna, that's so cool. We're glad you're here to be a part of tonight's event.
I wouldn't be nowhere else. I mean, my daddy would have absolutely loved this.
I know he is right now. He's watching over us right now.
Yeah, and I mean, what better way to, honor him than spend the whole day at the dirt track?
Absolutely. So thanks for being a part of the race and have fun, okay?
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Donna Tilly Pierce and also the members of the Carolina Harley-Davidson Dealers Association, our presenting sponsor. All right, now I get to hand things over to the third member of our broadcasting crew. She's going to take things over from here on the podium. We have the invocation, our presentation of colors first, and then our invocation, and then our national anthem. Danny, I've got to go all the way back to the trailer. It's time for the Charlotte Half Mile. I'll see you after the races. Have fun.
Thanks, Scotty. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight here in Charlotte and here at home. I like a really, really, really loud crowd, so I want you guys to practice. When I say make some noise, I expect you to. Are you going to try it with me? Charlotte, make some noise. That's perfect. I heard you even with my headphones on. I like this. Now, please do me a favor and stand up. Remove your hats if you have them on. The Pershing Rifles Company Zulu 4 Color Guard is going to present our colors. Raymond Rizzo from Motor Racing Outreach, you're going to lead us in the invocation.
Thank you, Danny. Pray with me, please. Our Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for this event, the Don Tillery Memorial. God, we just want to thank you for him, his memory, and his wife. We pray that you would bless them. I pray that you would bless their family. Thank you again. I pray their legacy would go on for many years. I pray also for tonight, all the riders, you would bless and keep them safe from all harm. I pray not only for them, but everyone that's putting this event on. Thank you for the AMA, all the staff here at Charlotte. Thank you again. I ask also for the military that's serving around the world, keeping us free and helping us in every corner of the globe. I pray your special protection tonight. And we do want to thank you for all the fans, all those that are watching by television. Bless each and every one with a great night. We ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please remain standing. And not only is Jimmy Fallon a gas man for Ken Schrader Racing, he is also going to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Charlotte Motor Speedway, are you guys ready for the best in flat track? That was pretty good. Scotty and Chris, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Danny. It's time to go racing here at the dirt track, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Coming up first, GNC2 heat race number 1. This is our first heat race of the night. The top 7 finishers go directly to the main event. They're going to come out and get one lap under caution to check out the racetrack. Dasher Davis Fisher, number 67M, will be the first one out. He's from Warren, Oregon. He'll be your pole setter. Second out will be the 54A, Dan Bromley, Warrington, Pennsylvania. Third is 27U, Jamison Miner, and he's from Barrington, New Hampshire. 68A is Ryan Barnes. He's from Moton, Pennsylvania. 24F, J.R. Addison, Bucyrus, Ohio. 23F, Jeffrey Lowry, St. Louisville, Ohio. That is your front row. Row number 2, 16S, Tristan Avery. 99A, Kyle McGrain. 24J's Brandon Wilhelm. 19B, Justin Jones. 18A, Derek Hirsch. 78J, Dylan Phelps. That is row number 2. And row number 3, 44A, Jerry Alexander, and the 11F of Curtis Vandekoy. This is heat race number 1, GNC2 class. Chris Carr, how important is the start?
Well, I think the start is real good, but we want to focus in a little bit here on the 68A. Rider lined up 4th in this heat race. 3rd generation, Varnes family racer, Ryan Varnes. 2002, our last trip here to the dirt track at Charlotte, was won by his father, Kevin Varnes, former national number 89. Tip of the nod to a 3rd generation racer here trying to follow in his father's footsteps with a victory here tonight in the GNC2 class.
All right, so they're going to come out. They're going to get one lap, make sure the opening ceremonies folks have made their way out of the infield to get ready for our first heat race. The heat races look like this: 2 GNC2 heat races, top 7 finishers. Then we go into the GNC1 class, the premier class. They're going to get one lap. They call it a sighting lap. Actually, it looks like they're going to stage them up first and then give them a sighting lap. So that will give these folks an extra opportunity to get a practice start out of the infield. A little bit different than cars that normally run here. We have a standing start. So they all line up on the starting line. There's laser beams that go across all 3 rows. If anybody moves across that line, the light will not turn from red or from yellow into the green light.
Yeah, the red light will come on. They'll find the culprit and put him on the 4th row. So getting a start here, going back to your question earlier, is very important. Track position, especially in a heat race here with 8 laps. These guys want to establish rhythm early, but we got a track that's a little bit different than what these guys were practicing in. It's much wetter than it was even in their first round of qualifying, so the track has developed a little bit. They're going to get basically 1 lap to see what it's like, test the traction, and we'll see who did their homework.
They're also getting 1 chance to practice a start, which is very important. The track is banked. You can see it goes down from the outside wall to the infield. When they drop the clutches, the rear end's going to actually slide out a little bit.
Well, a lot of times if a rider is sitting too upright to the earth, you know, a bike can, the rear wheel can step out to the left and point them to the right up toward the wall. A track like this, experienced riders will actually lean their motorcycle parallel to the banking on the racetrack and help them get a good launch.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our first heat race of the night at the Don Tilley Memorial Half Mile here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 3 rows of bikes. We are going to race this one 8 laps, and the top 7 finishers go directly to the main event. Everybody else will have to come back in 1 last chance qualifier. This is the GNC2 class. They go first, and then our GNC1 class will come up after 2 heat races of these folks. They're lined up and ready to go. There's a Christmas tree with 1 red and also with 2 yellows, and then it goes green, and the clutches will come out, and we'll be racing here at Charlotte. Keep your eye on the inside of the front row. Our pole setters, also our points leader. 2 Kawasaki's from the middle, Bromley and Varnes. Now here comes Fisher on the 68A. It's 4 wide coming off of turn 2. Bromley's at the head of the class. He'll take him off of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, we have a 3 abreast going off into turn 3. Miner at the bottom, Fisher through the middle. Bromley goes all the way up to the air fence, testing out every inch of this Charlotte Motor Speedway racetrack. But Davis Fisher to the front.
Your pole setter. Oh, Bromley gets into the air fence. It looks like he somehow saves it down there in turn number 1 and 2. He's run the very high line. It's Fisher out front. Jamison Miner's in the 2 spot. One of the 24s right there. That's going to be the 24F J.R. Addison in the thick of things.
Sometimes up there by the air fence, the track doesn't quite get matted down as consistently as other parts of the racetrack. A lot of people are afraid to, with the wheel packers to hit the air fence. So looks like Bromley hit a slick spot, cost him dearly. He's got a lot to make up for.
And he went way to the back. Another rider trying the high lines, the young 16-year-old rider, 16S Tristan Avery. He's the bright green motorcycle up in the high stuff. Davis Fisher pulling away on the 67M.
Yeah, Fisher running about the middle of the racetrack, a little bit lower that time going into turn 1. Lets the thing drift up, tries to get it turned. and make that good long straightaway down the back.
So it's Fisher out front, Jamison Minor in the 2 spot, J.R. Addison, Ryan Barnes is in 4th, Tristan Avery, Brandon Wilhelm, and Jeffrey Lowry. That's how they run right now, top 7 finishers. Keep your eyes on Bromley. He's all the way back to the 11th spot. He's got to work his way back up to the top 7 spots.
Yeah, a tough break for him early on, but he's probably a little gun shy right now after that little incident off in turn 1 and 2. So we'll see if he can reestablish his rhythm. He's only got 4 laps left to get himself into a transfer spot.
All right, so there they go into turn number 3. Down the front straightaway they go. And it is still Fisher at the point. Miners in the 2 spot. 3rd is Addison. Barnes is still in 4th right now as they go across the start-finish line. 5 laps in the books. We got 3 laps to go. GNC2 heat race number 1 on the track.
Other than the line that's being run by our leader, Davis Fisher, there doesn't seem to be any clear-cut best line around the racetrack. These guys are all running a variety here from 2nd on back to 6th. So no one line really better than the other at the moment. That could be good later on.
Let's take a look at the replay of Dan Bromley, how he got to the position he was. He's up there high, wide, and handsome, gets really sideways in the slick stuff and somehow saves it, gets into the air fence right there, bounces off and keeps on going.
Yeah, rear wheel actually hit the air fence and straightened him out a little bit here with 1 lap to go. Davis Fisher commanding lead, nearly 2 seconds ahead of the 27U of Jamison Minor.
Fisher is long gone. He's already in turn number 3. We're watching the top 7 spots. That's where it's going to get very interesting. Back to the high side goes the 16S of Tristan Avery. Here's your winner across the start-finish line. It's Davis Fisher taking the win. Minor a close 2nd, and everybody else coming across the finish line. We'll give you a full field rundown as soon as they all get across this checkered flag. That was heat race number 1, and no surprise here, Chris Carr. It is your points leader and fast qualifier winning heat race number 1, 67M Davis Fisher by 2.3 seconds. 2nd, Jamison Minor, 27U. J.R. Addison finishes in the 3rd spot. Revan Ryan Barnes is 4th. 5th is the 16S, Tristan Avery. 6th is Brandon Wilhelm. Kyle McGrain puts in the main event on the last lap. The 16-year-old rider goes to the main event in the 7th spot. Jeffrey Lowry, Justin Jones, Dylan Phelps, Dan Bromley, Derek Hirsch, Jerry Alexander, and Curtis Vanderkoy round out your field. Let's go trackside with Danny and our heat race winner.
All right, thanks you guys. Charlotte, what did you think about that? Davis Fisher, you are our current GNC 2-point leader, coming out right where you want to be. Let's talk a little bit about track conditions. How has it changed from earlier today until right now?
Man, it's a lot better than it was in qualifying. Bike's working awesome. Thanks, JD. It looks pretty good up here, doesn't it?
Is this a little preview of what's to come?
Yeah, hopefully the main goes the same way. Just put down consistent laps and we'll see what happens. Can't thank Team 95 enough for stepping up and getting this bike, and Gordy Chopre for putting it together. Parkson Brothers Racing for always by my side. Bob Lanfear, Cheaper than Honda, Right Helmets. Allied Motors, Danwell Racing, The Fox, Saddleman Seats, everyone else for coming out. Thanks.
All right, Davis, you're going on to the main event. Scotty and Chris, back to you guys.
Thanks, Danny. Good, solid ride from Fisher on the 67M. Goes to the main event. He'll be on the front row. Heat race number 2, GNC2 class, 94B Ryan Wells, 30Z Bronson Bauman, 11Z Andrew Luker, 43C Lloyd Widener, 36B the Flying Tomato Colby Carlisle, 17A is Jordan Harris. Row number 2, 20C Michael Dillon, 68C Robert Lewis, 98C Rob McClendon III, 32C Brian McRoberts, 17C Sean McNary, 22A is Mitch Harvitt, and all by himself on the back row is the 89C Chris Boone. Just like the last heat race, top 7 finishers to the main event. Everybody else comes back in one last chance qualifier. This is the GNC2 class. Sometimes the up-and-comers, Chris, but sometimes it's older people who've retired and come out of retirement, just like the 68C of Robert Lewis.
Yeah, Robert Lewis, 53 years old, held a GNC1 license earlier in his career, makes a return. A local national is from here in North Carolina, and it's great to see him back here, out here giving it a shot.
Heat race number 2, GNC2, watch the green light, and the clutches come out. They're off into turn number 1. It's Ryan Wells with the whole shot. He pulls the front wheel. Looks like he might have missed a gear. Now we got a 17 rider coming up the inside. That's Harris. Jordan Harris will lead him off at 2. Colby Carlisle's right there on the 36B. The leader reaches up and pulls off a tear-off already.
He's like, I want to get clear vision of this as he runs it off into turn 3, running a very similar line as we saw Jamison Minor, who finished second, but Jordan Harris streaking out to a 4 bike length lead in 1 lap.
Here comes Bronson Bauman, puts the Dan Daffner Harley-Davidson, the 30Z, into the number 2 spot. He sets his sights on the leader. Colby Carlisle drops back to 3rd. Andrew Looker right there in 4th. He won at Daytona. He was our points leader for most of the early on part of the season.
Yeah, good run through the middle of the corner for the 30Z of Bronson Bauman. The Harleys will get through the middle of the corner, should get through there much easier as he comes up the inside, trying to make the move on Harris, coming off at 2.
Looks like Jordan's making a few bobbles in the middle of the corner. Your new leader, it's Bronson Bauman. He leads him into turn number 3. Here comes Colby Carlisle. He said, I see how that was done. He moves up there into the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Carlisle running a little lower line down there where it's a little bluer through the middle of 3 and 4, but Bauman riding real smooth out front, gets himself into the lead. Let's see if he can set sail. He's running up above the rubber that we saw develop a little bit earlier in the day. There's a little extra moisture there in the middle part of the racetrack. They'll probably start to widen this groove out, but as the sun continues to set, we'll see less and less rubber added to the racetrack. As soon as that sun is down, you won't see a whole lot more blue come up.
The moisture will continue to come up on this red North Carolina clay. Looks like Harris has his hands full. The 17A's got 3 riders right there on his rear wheel trying to take over that 3rd spot. So right now it's Bronson Bauman, Jordan Harris, and then a big group of riders. They almost touch handlebars coming off at turn number 4. They're almost 4 wide.
Almost 4 wide. Bauman had kind of given up a little bit of his lead, but now it kind of settles down, reestablishes that 4 or 5 bike lengths as these guys fight it over 3 abreast coming off turn 2. Wells up the inside, goes by 3 of them all at once. See if he can hold on to it.
Drifts up the racetrack and loses a little bit of ground coming off. So he's faster going in, not as fast coming off the corner. Jordan Harris having the run of his life right there, hanging on to a solid 2nd place. Wells tries the low line once again. This time makes the pass stick. Here comes Andrew Luker around the outside. So Harris goes behind 2 riders. Now he comes back up for turn number 2, back into the 3rd spot.
Fabulous action here for this 2nd position here. Harris holds the nod, moves 94 wide. Luker splits the difference there. Colby Carlisle in there as well with 1 lap to go here. While these guys battle it out, Bronson Bauman.
Still Bauman out front. Here's the battle for 2nd. Bronson Bauman's right there. Luker's there. Also Carlisle.
One of them just broke Ryan Wells' issue coming off, going into turn 3. Is Bronson Bauman brings her home for victory.
Bronson Bauman takes the checkered flag. Harris, I believe, is going to hang on a second. They'll give us a rundown right now. So Bronson Bauman on the Dan Daffner Harley-Davidson takes the win on the 30Z. Jordan Harris, a solid 2nd place. Andrew Luker 3rd. Colby Carlisle 4th. Lloyd Widener 5th. Sean McNary 6th. And Robert Lewis, 53 years old, puts it in the main event, number 68C. A tough break for Ryan Wells, who did not get finished on that one. So something happened right there in the back straightaway. You saw it, and didn't he put his hand up? Something let go on his motorcycle.
Something let go. I don't know if he spit a chain or what the deal was there, but he was certainly not under power going into turn 3 on the last lap.
So Brombo taking the win on the Dan Daffner Harley-Davidson. He will take his helmet off, and we'll go trackside and meet our heat race winner. Danny, take it away.
All right, thanks you guys. Now you guys don't always run a twin, so this is kind of a new thing for us. 2 races so far this season, including this one. How different is it for you to be on that bike compared to this one?
Oh, I actually like the twins a little more. I have a more aggressive riding style, and the twin suits that better. And I actually like it a lot more than the 450s. I can just take it, and I keep feeding it, and it's just awesome. So it's not too hard for me. I can adapt very quickly to bikes, I guess you can say. Not trying to be too cocky, but I just love riding different motorcycles, so every bike I hop on, I just give it all I got.
So you had a podium finish at Peoria. We're here in Charlotte. What's it going to take the win tonight?
Oh, well, off that start, I got really lucky. I don't know what happened to Ryan Wells, but I got off, and I avoided that whole shenanigan deal, and I just got out front and rode my hardest and put down consistent laps. So, that's basically what it's going to take. Consistent laps. The track you are able to pass on, so let's just keep it like that and stay out front.
Bronson, you're going on to the main event. Charlotte, make some noise. Scotty and Chris, take it away.
The 3 contenders coming in tonight. Jared Meese on the 1 bike. Keep your eyes on him. Also the 42, Flying Brian Smith on the Kawasaki. He's our fast qualifier tonight. And also keep your eyes on Slammin' Sammy Halbert. He's running number 69 here tonight. Heat race number 1's on the line, GNC1 class. It is the 42, Brian Smith, your fast qualifier. 10, Johnny Lewis. 17F, Jared Vandekoy. 44 is Brandon Robinson. 91, Mikey Martin. 17, Henry Wiles, that's your front row. Second row, 49, Chad Coast. 93, Danny Kelch. 69, G's, Danny Eslick. 16, Wyatt McGuire. 52, Shayna Texter. 89, Evan Bear, that's your second row. Third row, 14B, Brian Hazel. 35S, Dalton Winkler. 64C, Jerry Steele. Here we go. GNC1 heat race on the line. Watch the light. They are off. It's Vandekoy with the hole shot. Chris Carr, take it away.
Vandekoy, good start from the third position there, followed closely by the 42 of Brian Smith. Smith lights it up off of turn 2 and 91 and Mikey Martin. We got 3 Kawasaki's, 1, 2, 3 with the rookie out front leading the first lap here at Charlotte Dirt Track.
All right, so we got a special guest joining us here in the booth. We'll get a mic on him in just a second. Justin Barsh is going to be joining us up here in the booth. It's Vandekoy at the lead. The 17F is out front. He's starting to pull away. Second is Smith. Third spot's the 91 of Mikey Martin. And we got a big battle back there. Top 4 spots are going to the main event. Top 2 to the Astrocast. Justin Barsh, welcome to the dirt here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me out. It's very exciting so far.
Have you been to a dirt track ever before?
First one, I raced a few when I was a lot younger as a kid in New York, but yeah, this is awesome. I'm excited.
Well, we see the battle of the Kawasaki's, and looks like up the inside, the 44, Brandon Robinson on the Castrol Bonneville Triumph, moving into a battle for the lead here, moving into second position. The best we've seen him look all day.
All right, so the leader, it's Vandekoy out front. He's our Rookie of the Year leader. He's in his rookie expert season. GNC1 class, Brandon Robinson on the Triumph slides into second spot. Man, look how fast they're going, Justin.
They are going so fast, and it looks like it's slick out there tonight. I haven't been to many of these, but it looks slick and actually a little bit choppy for my liking, I'd say.
Well, this red clay, these bikes only have about 4 inches of travel in the front and about 4 or 5 in the rear. So every little bump they feel in a big bad way, and plus the bikes weigh 320 pounds. So
yeah, it's crazy. My bike's light, and I have a lot more travel, and I feel every bump. So I can only imagine these guys' spines right now.
Well, did you go out there and try to find a ride for tonight, or are you content watching?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm content right now. I want to be out there. Anything with the engine gets me excited. So, but I could see myself racing some of this in the future for sure. You know, I grew up in New York around the ice racing a little bit, and it's exciting.
Battle for the lead. They're 3 wide momentarily. The rookie on the outside, Brian Smith on the inside. It's Vandekoy, Brandon Robinson, and Brian Smith battling for the lead. Top 2 go to the Dash for Cash. Top 4 all transfer to the main event. Look at the battle for second, Chris Carr.
Great battle. I didn't expect this out of the 44. Robinson didn't qualify all that well, but here he is battling for the lead. As Brian Smith goes down to the Pee-wee line, runs it around the bottom, finds that nice brown dirt, gets a good turn through the apex, vaults himself up in the lead. We saw this a little bit earlier on in practice and qualifying.
He calls it the Pee-wee line because it's the shortest way around the track.
Shortest way is the best way, right?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah, I seen him kicking up a little dust down there. It looks like there's maybe a little traction out of that slick blue groove line.
Well, the blue groove does get real slippery. Okay. Brian is chasing that nice dark brown dirt down at the bottom of it, and it's the shortest way around.
Yep.
So as we see him get hooked up, he gets a little wide off of turn 2 that lap. As we watch
the battle for fourth.
Battle for fourth. Wiles trying to get up there on his Harley to put Mikey Martin back into the semi.
Now we go back up to the battle for second spot. Second's very important too as the white flag comes out. The top 2 riders go to the Dash for Cash. Top 4 transfer directly to the main event. Wiles and Mikey Martin are battling back there for third and fourth. Actually for fourth and fifth. There's your leader down the back straight away. Vandekoy's in second. Brian Smith, the Piper, he's normally fast on the miles. He's leading the half mile for turn number 4. He's going to hang on to the victory. Who's going to take second?
Wow, this is what Brian Smith needed to do. He cut his fastest lap of the night in that heat race, 20.595.
Wow.
4/10 of a second quicker than it was in qualifying. We might see a racetrack speed up a little bit as the night goes on, but that's what Brian Smith is going to have to do if he's going to run down the number 1 of Jared Mees in this championship.
So Brian Smith is your winner on the Kawasaki. He wins by 0.669 seconds. Second is 44 Brandon Robinson on the Triumph. Third will be the 17F Jared Vandekoy in his rookie season, and the 4th spot is the 91 Mikey Martin on a Kawasaki. So top 4 spots go to the main event.
Brian Smith, fantastic ride. Took a while for him to establish his rhythm. Once he figured out what he needed to do, he bolted to the front in a hurry and put a gap on the rookie.
So that means it looks like Henry Wiles, Danny Kelch, Johnny Lewis, Shane Texter, Danny Eslick, the two-time Daytona 200 winner, and others all headed to a semifinal. Our winner is down there on the podium, and we're going to get an interview with him. Then come back here to the booth with Justin Barsha here in just a second. So let's go trackside with Danny and our heat race winner, Brian Smith. Danny?
All right, thanks you guys. Brian Smith, you are one of very few riders who has experience at this track. What is it gonna take to take the win tonight? We made some bets early and you were my pick.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make you look like the really smart blonde in the house tonight. But nah, when I rode here, shoot, it was 2001 when I rode here. I was just young and dumb and couldn't remember anything that I did then. So it's just a fun track. I'm glad you got a good crowd out there, and I appreciate you guys coming out tonight.
All right, you got some sponsors you wanna thank quick, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Crosley Radio, Kawasaki, Joe Esparza, man, they gave me a great team with all the guys on the crew. Hey, man, Jeff, Dink, Ricky, wouldn't be here without you guys. Appreciate it all. Terry Everett, I know you're at home watching. Thanks again, and American Badass Beer. If you're thirsty, go get some.
Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thanks a lot, Danny. Congratulations to Brian Smith. Up next, GNC1 heat race number 2. Just like the last one, the top 4 finishers go to the main event. Top 2 go to the dash. We got Justin Barsha up here in the booth. Man, heat race number 1 in the books. How exciting was that?
Oh, it's really exciting. I love it. You know, anything to do with racing, I'm all about. But yeah, those guys are impressive. Running those low lines, trying to find traction. The outside middle looks pretty slick. It'll be exciting. I don't know how the track's going to form really. Is the moisture going to come out tonight, or is it going to get drier?
Yeah, it's going to dry out a little bit. As soon as the sun goes down, typically here in this part of the country, the moisture starts to come up.
Okay.
Air gets a little heavier, a little more humidity in the air. You might see that land on the track, and it'll change things up quite a bit.
Here we go. Keep your eyes on the points contender. Our points leader is the number 1. We got husband and wife starting beside each other. Our points leaders on the 1, Jared Meese. On the pole, though, is the 30S Jason Eisenach. 14, Briar Bauman. 1, Jared Meese. 15, Nicole Meese. 58, that's Adam Carpinello. 23, Jeffrey Carver Jr., that's row number 1. Row number 2, 80, Stevie Bonzi. 65, Corey Texter. 73, Doug Lawrence. 83, S. Mike Poe. 41, Brad Hazel. 23Y, Ryan Foster. Row number 3, we got the 12 of Jay Maloney. 46, Aaron Linfors. And the 11C of Shane Fox. Heat race number 2, Harley-Davidson GNC1 class presented by Vance Hines. Watch the Christmas tree. From our point of view, we can't see it, but there's a red light, 2 yellow lights, and then we go green. The clutches come out. There's no gates here.
No gates. Husband and wife, how awesome is that?
I married those folks down there at Springfield, Illinois. Man, it was so fun.
Man. And the husband of that duo, Jared Meese, coming off of turn 2 on the high line with Briar Bauman on the 14. Second, Meese leads him off into turn 3, goes down to this line that Brian Smith was on. Let's see if he can make that work.
So our leader down the front straightaway is out front, Jared Meese. He won at Rapid City. He's our points leader by 29 points. Briar Bauman is in the second spot on the 14 Kawasaki. Adam Carpinello is up there. He's had a very good showing here in Charlotte. There's an onboard of our leader right off the rear fender. You can see it's rougher than it looks for sure.
It's really bumpy out there.
Look at them sliding in the corners. They got a steel shoe on their left boot. Have you ever tried? You've put a steel shoe on before?
Never had a steel shoe, but I definitely want to get one on one of these days.
Well, there you go. We'd love to see that. Jared Meese getting a good drive off turn 2, lights it up a little bit. Carpinello and Briar Bauman keeping him honest at the moment.
The Rolling Thunder Show continues here at Charlotte. We'll watch the battle for the 4 spot. Only 4 riders transfer to the main event. Everybody else comes back in the semi, so you want to make it directly out of the heat race. Carpinello's in the 3rd spot. Jeffrey Carver's in the green and white leathers. He's in the 4th spot, and everybody else is right there, Chris.
Yeah, we see the 80 of Stevie Bonzi getting a good run up the inside.
Wow,
as we see the
coming on the outside.
Bonzi runs it in there on Carver, taking the position, moves up into 4th.
Eisenach goes around the outside of Carver, so Carver's slipping backwards. He was in 4th just a moment ago. Now here comes Dougie Fresh, 73, Doug Lawrence. He comes up the inside of Eisenach. He wants to get in the thick of things.
Eisenach qualified real well, not coming to grips with this track that's changing with every lap. Having a hard time getting it hooked up, but keep an eye on Steve Bonzi, moves up to 3rd. Goes by Carpinello with 5 laps to go. Let's see if he can march to the front. He's the only rider moving forward. That time by a lap of 20.9.
He's bringing with him the 73 of Doug Lawrence, who goes around the outside of Carpinello momentarily down there in 3 and 4. The high line definitely working for a few riders, not working for a couple of them. Doug Lawrence takes over the 4th spot, coming to the start-finish line. That is our 4th transfer. Man, you don't want to be running back there. You want to be out front with
You want to
clean
be
air.
out front, clean air for sure, yeah, but those guys are really making it happen, trying outsides, trying the insides. It looks like they were kicking up some dust on that inside. It looks like that short line might be working tonight.
It's working right now, but the more the guys ride on it, the more they clean it off. It'll get slicker and it'll get narrower, trying to find that little patch of moisture down
Way
there.
on top of the grandstands. Check out this view. It's Meese right now by about a full second. Briar Bauman, he's settled into second. Bonzi's coming on him, though. Bonzi's on the TCR Harley-Davidson. He's actually closing the gap for that second transfer, because that puts you in the dash for cash, extra money, and 1 point to the winner of that dash.
Yeah, but he's running out of time, and once he gets there, they're both on the same line, so there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do if he does catch him as
Briar slips
wide to see if Bonzi can get a good run off of turn 2.
Look who's coming
taking a short way around, not quite there in time to get by going into 3.
Doug Lawrence is hanging on right there with him. He's trying to get up there and get in the battle of things. He's running the high line, so he could go around the outside of him, but the white flag is coming out. 1 more half mile to go for your leader. Meese out front. Briar's in second. There's Bonzi and Doug Lawrence right there, your top 4 pulling away.
Yeah, we saw Bonzi light it up a little bit there, trying to get the thing pinched down. It goes up the inside and runs out of time and real estate to get up the inside of Briar Bauman. But Jared Meese in control.
Checkered flags in the air. Meese takes the win. Our defending champion is the winner, points leader. He goes directly to the dash and to the main event. Here's some onboard footage of how rough the track is as they go across the checkered flag. You can see the bike bouncing. Justin Barsha, we know you got a lot of stuff going on. We appreciate you stopping by the booth here at fanschoice.tv. We're going to let you go here in just a second, but have fun tonight, all right?
Yeah,
thanks for stopping by
having
the
me.
booth.
I can't wait to watch that main event tonight. These guys are killing it. The track looks bumpy. Hopefully they keep it on 2 wheels, and it'll be good racing.
All right, Justin Barsha joining us here in the booth. Your winner, it's Jared Meese taking the win. Briar Bauman second. Stevie Bonzi third. Doug Lawrence in the 4 spot. Those are your transfers. Eisenach will get 5th. Jeffrey Carver 6th. Adam Carpinello 7th. Corey Texter 8th. Nicole Meese 9th. And Ryan Foster rounds out your top 10. Brad Hazel, Jay Maloney, Aaron Linford, Shane Fox, and Mike Poe round out your finishers. Let's go trackside with our heat race winner, Jared Meese and Danny Medine. Danny?
Charlotte, can you make some noise for Jared Meese, please? I really like, you guys are pretty good. I'm liking this. Jared, not only are you in the hunt right now for a championship, you were racing against your wife. Can you fill us in a little bit about what that's like for both of you?
You know, it's just look at it as another racer. We've been doing it since we were 6 years old, and it's really just life for us.
So what's it going to take to pull off a win here? You're one of the other few riders like Brian that has had raced here before.
Yeah, you know, I raced here on an 883, so a completely different motorcycle. You know, just like that, you know, a good hole shot, run my own race. You know, it's unfortunate that the track doesn't have enough moisture really in it. It's really one line around the bottom right now, so it'd be nice if we can get that moisture to pop up through and move around a little bit, but you know, it's working really good. The guys made huge improvements from the practice qualifying to the heat race for sure. You know, I felt just a little off in qualifying, and yeah, Sammy Sweet, Kenny Tolbert, what can you say?
All right, Jared, you're going on to the main event. So, Scotty and Chris, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Danny. Congratulations to Jared Meese. Here we go. Heat race number 3. It is GNC1 class, and we have the Factory Harley's making his way out here. Our normal Factory Harley riders joining us up here in the booth. The Bullet, Brad Baker. Brad, welcome to the booth. Heat race number 3 is coming up. Don't you wish you want to be out there?
I wish I was on the number 5 bike right now, but you know, Jake's doing a good job, and I'm kind of excited to see how he does.
That's your bike out there. It normally has the 6 on it. Today we got the 5 on it. Your lineup looks like this. On the poles, Kenny Coolbeth, number 2. 69, Sammy Halbert. 27, Bugs Pearson. 29, Jake Mattia. 5, Jersey Jake Johnson. 66 wide, Dominic Calendrez. Row number 2, 28Ps, Michael Bickerton. 55, Jake Shoemaker. 94Ks, Jake Cunningham. 96 is Cody John Cox. 69F, Ben Evans. 67, Colt Schultz. That's row number 2. But all the way back to row number 3 is the 53 of Don Taylor. 82 of Jeremy Higgins. Who's going to win this one, Bullet?
You know, I think it's going to be a good race between number 2 and number 5. You know, Kenny's always been a really good rider at this track, and, you know, Jake's had a lot of experience here as well. They're 2 veterans, and they're on good motorcycles. So.
Right beside him is a 66 wide Dominic Calendrez. Finished a solid 3rd place finish in Peoria in his rookie season.
Yeah, no, you know, Dom's always been a good rider. He's an aggressive rider, and, you know, they got a good setup with the Yamaha 8th Mace, so it's cool to see them out there doing well.
All right, so that one guy's asking for help, 94K. That is Cunningham on the 94K from Sherwood, Wisconsin. He's on a Kawasaki, so he's Looks like he might try to get that thing started. Or
It was cool to see Jake make his first Grand National at Peoria. It was awesome to see, especially at a racetrack like that. It's been cool. He's been at it for a while.
you don't sound very happy.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Trying to be happy.
Well, we appreciate
right.
you. We appreciate you being here in the broadcast booth with us. I know you would much rather be suited up out there. How's your leg feeling? What's your prognosis?
Leg's feeling pretty good, especially in this last week. It's came a long way. You know, I'm going to try to be back for Calistoga here at the end of September. You know, I didn't have to get any rods or pins or anything in my leg. It was, you know, it's just kind of healing all natural. So it takes a little while longer when you do it that way, but good thing is when it is all healed up, it'll be good as new, basically. So just trying to do as much as I can to speed up the healing and just make good use of my time and hopefully be back out here with these boys at Calistoga.
So Cunningham has asked for 2 minutes. They're reaching for the gas line. They've tried sticking the spare starter in the side of it. These bikes, there's no way to kick start them. It's very hard to push start these motorcycles too, Chris.
Yeah, sometimes if a battery's worn down, they needed some good speed to get going, but this thing might not have any fire. I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
Will there be any issues with those other bikes sitting on the line? It's very warm outside.
They can certainly overheat. They need to get air going in these water-cooled engines, but they've decided to pull this one off the side. We're going to get this one going
Tough
green.
break for Cunningham. He does scratch. He will be back in the semifinal. Hopefully he can get that thing going or possibly hop to a backup motorcycle. Here we go. Top 2 to the Dash for Cash. Top 4 go directly to the main event. If you don't finish in the top 4 spots, you do head to a semi-final. You don't want to do that, do you, Brad?
No, you don't. It's always nice to go directly to the main event and especially get on the front row. That's the challenge and that's the goal.
So Pearson's riding the Harley-Davidson. He'd also have the chance to switch to a KTM if he wants to. Light turns green. It is Jake Mattia, the 29, pulling the front wheel, pulling the whole shot into turn 1. Here comes Kenny Coolbeth up the inside, moves Mattia wide. Coolbeth's going to try to lead him off at turn number 2. Here comes the big number 2, your leader.
The rare occurrence, the number 2 of Kenny Coolbeth with a whole shot. It's one thing that's hurt him a lot this year is not getting the good starts, but he gets the start this time, sets off with about 4 or 5 bike links here on lap 1.
Who picked him earlier? Was that me?
I believe that was you,
good,
yes.
Good. Okay, so Coolbeth's got the whole shot. He's going to lead him off for turn number 2. Mattia is still running the high line, getting sideways. Jake Johnson's going to come up there and take the second spot away.
Coolbeth starting to set sail. Let's see how long it takes for that rear brake rotor to start to glow. I don't know if it's quite dark enough to pick it up yet, but
give it a lap.
Keep your eyes on the 69. That is Sammy Halbert. He's caught up there, just about ran to the back tire of Jake Johnson going into turn number 1 and 2. He gets into a bump and has to settle back in behind him.
Well, you know, Sammy has been solid all year long. He just hasn't won any races, but he hasn't done anything really bad. He's been solid. He's 3rd in points. He, too, like Brian Smith, needs to get up toward the front if he's going to have a chance to chase down Jared Mees in the points. As the 29 goes wide, makes a little mistake going off into turn 1.
Mattia's been running the high line every lap, but it looked like he caught a little bump going into 1, so he loses a little bit of ground. So now Johnson settles into the 2 spot. He's got Halbert all over the rear tail section of that factory Harley, trying to get in there and get around him. What's going through their heads right now, Brad? What are you thinking about?
I don't know. I think it looks like Jake's struggling off the quarter entrance, getting the bike to bite, and you know, it's always been a thing on these slick half miles, is trying to get forward motion, and that looks like what these guys are trying to get after. So, but they're all doing a great job. Seems like everybody's right on the bottom and trying to kind of mimic what number 2 is doing.
66 wide, Dominic Calendres has the mechanical. He's pulled off the racetrack, so tough break for Dominic. Back out front is still Coolbeth pulling away. Johnson's hanging on to 2nd. He's got Halbert right there in the 3rd spot. Jake Mattia hasn't given up on that high line. He's on the number 29. He's trying to make the main event. Here comes Robbie Pearson on the 27. He goes back to the bottom, so we got the Harleys on the bottom of the racetrack, and we got the Kawasaki running the high line.
Yeah, Kenny Coolbeth out front marches forward, doing everything he needs to do to make up the gap with Jared Mees in points. Running some good lap times, quite a bit quicker in this heat race than the previous heat race. About 2-3 of a second a lap faster than Jared Mees in the last heat. So Kenny Coolbeth looking strong, looking fast, and they're starting to wear out the line that Brian Smith started on the Kawasaki. That Kawasaki needs that good brown dirt in order to get some traction. This track is going to change quite a bit more between now and the main event. We'll see if as Halbert goes by in turn 3. Jake Johnson comes back onto the inside, doesn't quite get back by going into turn 1.
Good battle for second place. Sammy Halbert on the 69 right now. Johnson's going to try the low line. Here comes Matthias. Still hasn't given up on the high line. Johnson up the inside, takes over second place. Very important to make that dash for cash because then you get a front row starting spot also in the main event.
As
White
you can
flag.
see, they're going lower and lower where the groove is, and is where everybody's trying to aim for. That brown dirt's where the traction
Sammy
is,
made a
so
mistake.
We have that mechanical failure there on the 69.
That's such a
Sammy
horrible feeling.
Wow.
I mean, helpless there to be in contention for the dash, front row of the main event, and have her come up lame like that.
Here comes your winner off of turn number 4, Kenny Coolbeth Jr. by a pretty demanding win here in heat race number 3, the final qualifying heat race of the evening. Coolbeth takes the win. Jake Johnson, the factory Harley, will come home second. Robbie Pearson gets that third spot. Jake Mattia, who just started riding for the McGrain racing team, also some Scott Power Sports help behind the 29. He goes to the main event. John Cox will get 5th. Jeremy Higgins 6th. Michael Bickerton 7th. Shoemaker 8th. Don Taylor, Colt Schmaltz, Ben Evans, Sammy Halbert credited with 12. Dominic Calendros broke earlier, and Jake Cunningham did not make the start. So a tough break for those riders as Dominic Calendros sits in the infield, very unhappy. And let's go trackside with Danny Medine real quick. She's caught up with one of our riders that broke earlier. Danny?
All right, you guys, I was just going to catch a quick word with Jake Cunningham. Tough break, he said, but he said he's going to be getting back out there, so be watching for him. We have Kenny Coolbeth, our Heat 3 winner in the GNC1 class. This is your type of track, Kenny. Why? Why does this work for you?
I don't know. It's just one of those things. You know, I go good on groove tracks, and it's good. You know, the Zanatti Harley-Davidson, Gator Harley-Davidson Motor Company back bike is running good, and I'm ready.
So you're also one of the very few, there's 4 riders that have been here before over a decade ago. What are you looking forward to come the main event?
Win, you know, I'm here to win. That's all I got to say.
And you also have a new baby here.
I do. My wife and the new baby's here, and they're great, and hopefully we get a win for them.
Okay, we have a dash for cash as well, which you're pretty familiar with those. You're also going on to the main event. Scotty and Chris, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Danny. That's our final qualifying heat race. We're going to take a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're here with us in Charlotte, it's time to stretch your legs, grab something to eat, something to drink. The new programs are down there on sale, and also the event T-shirts are on sale. Up here in the booth, we got the factory Harley-Davidson rider who's sitting out right now. It's the Bullet, Brad Baker. Brad, how hard is it to sit here and watch?
It's pretty hard, you know. It was even more hard watching Peoria, you know, from home. It was a race that I was looking forward to big time, but of course, you know, coming out here and supporting all my, you know, my fellow competitors and Harley-Davidson Motor Company and just being here at the racetrack's better than not being here.
Well,
so
I didn't think you had it. So you shot your TV last, at Peoria because you couldn't get reception. So that's why you had to come to the race today because you can't look at the TV.
Yeah, about to say when it's just buffering, you can't watch it, and it was, I was trying to stay in contact with, a couple riders that I was helping out, and, all I did was want to watch. But when you're here live, you're right in the mix of things.
Well, we think you should move to a bigger metropolitan city, and then you'd have better internet.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I found out that you just got to shut down all the services that you have on your other devices and just focus it towards one, and you don't have a problem.
So you're smarter than you look.
Well, Patrick Bagansky actually helped me with that, so he had me dialed in.
So let's talk about the heat races, what we've seen so far. Who sticks out in your head as fast?
Obviously the 3 winners, I think the number 42 has been going really good all day, and it seems like the motorcycle's hooking up really well for him. Of course, Jake Johnson and Kenny Coolbeth and also Jared Mees this kind of follows a little bit more of their forte of riding, when you got to keep the wheels in line and have a lot of patience and not spin up coming off the corner. I think it'll be a pretty good showdown. I think they might put a little water on the racetrack, which will also kind of play in the factor of what the lines end up doing. So there's still a lot of factors that might change up the racing for later.
Well, do you see anybody that outside of the winners in the heat race that might bring that A game for the final? I mean, is there anybody that you can expect all of a sudden think, where did that guy come from? Kind of like a Brandon Robinson did in Heat 1.
I think Jared Vandekoy might be one. He was maybe overriding the motorcycle on the racetrack a little too much. He worked that outside line the first couple laps, and it worked for him, and then it started to go away. If that high line actually comes in, the factor how aggressive that he was earlier might actually kind of come into his favor. So obviously I was actually really surprised on how Robinson and the Triumph are doing. So I foresee all of them doing very good, but I think that that Jared Vandekoy was showing the most aggression, and if the racetrack allows it, that he might roll back to the front.
Well, our booth is really small, but is there any way to show the fans at home and the fans here that what can you show your leg?
Yeah,
or
a little bit.
He's got a splint on the front. It's all stickered up with his factory
got
Harley
my nice
stickers.
cheetah.
Your nice cheetah shoe. I saw that was
slipper.
designer. And
Yeah,
so
we can put a steel shoe on that. You're fine.
Well, heck, I mean, I can bend it, everything,
Well,
you know.
so
I mean, you got protection
the
here.
debris
I mean,
hit you right about here.
It hit me right here, right on the
Okay.
inside of my, like right above the boot line, right on the tibia, and it ended up, it looks like when a rock hits a windshield and you got the center divot and then all the spider web cracks around it. That's basically what my tib looks like, but I never had to, get any rods or plates or anything in it, so once the thing finally heals back up, it won't be any metal or anything later in life bothering me, so that's kind of good.
So what's the worst part about being laid up? Is it racing, or is it being bored? You can't do your normal things, or what's the worst part?
Everything about it, man. I mean, this year it was a big heartbreaker, man. I mean, I started off the year behind the 8 ball with injuries. It's been a year and a half of solid injuries and coming back from them, and to claw my way back to where I was, to be one of the only riders in contention for the championship with Jared, and being right there in the thick of things. I was just finally hitting my stride and feeling really good again, and to get knocked back down just from a rock hitting your leg, not even having a spectacular crash of anything, it just definitely took the wind out of my sails a little bit. But of course, not being able to come out and have fun with all my fellow competitors and just have fun at the racetrack and do what I do from a daily basis, it kind of comes all to a stop, and it goes back in the healing mode so you can get after it again. So
what are you doing to help accelerate the healing process? I know all dirt track racers, all racers, period, want to do whatever they can to get on the racetrack as soon as possible. What sort of things are you doing in order to help that?
Well, I've been pretty lucky and fortunate to have a lot of good people behind me, a lot of different trainers, a lot of different athletes that are good friends of mine that have, gave me some good guidance and advice to what you can do to get back quicker. I try to eat as well as I can, and also take all the right supplements. There's different supplements between D3, calcium, magnesium, things that help make the body absorb the nutrients that it needs to heal quicker. And then there's different, machines and technology out there, like bone stimulation and muscle stimulation and things that you can do to get more blood and to recycle more blood to that area to be able to heal. So there's a lot of different things, and it's pretty cool to be able to be in this era of sports medicine and orthopedics and everything. There's pretty much nothing you can't fix and nothing you can't come back from pretty quick now if you really put your mind to it.
So, Brad, how long did it take you to learn how to back the bike in and slide it into a corner?
I was doing it on a PW50 the first day in the field, so it didn't take me long. No, I don't know. It's definitely a knack, to steer the motorcycle with the throttle and to feel that, the ass end of the motorcycle, the back end of the motorcycle come into the corner. It's just a feel that every dirt tracker will get eventually, and it's the art and poetry of dirt track racing, really.
Well, the reason I asked is because we had a guy from the Wall Street Journal come yesterday, and he tried to learn how to back it into the corner in about 4 hours. And so I didn't know if you quite learned it that fast or not, but let's check out what happened yesterday here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Let's see it. This should be interesting.
Hi, my name is Dan Neal. I'm an editor for the Wall Street Journal, and today I've come to ride something called an AMA Pro Flat Track Race Bike. I have not seen such a bike before, and I have never actually seen this done in purpose. But they tell me, in the name of Jared Meese, the points leader and current champion, that there is a trick to it, and he is going to teach me the trick. And I think you know the trick I mean. That's the one where the bike is turned sideways, the guys are well off the saddle, they've got their foot down, and they're just manhandling these bikes at 100 miles an hour into these corners. I'd like to learn that trick without breaking my leg. surprised at how friendly it was. As long as the back wheel doesn't slip out, the thing is just, just rock solid. Initially, the two things are the pegs are in two different places, that they're not, beside each other. The left is up and back. And also finding the brake pedal, and also the softness of the brake pedal. These are very polite brakes. These are just sort of the suggestion of brakes before you go into the corner. So I had a little trouble towing the brake.
Well, there's not a whole lot of people that could say that they got to ride on an XR 750 Harley-Davidson, so I appreciate you coming out and giving it a go.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I learned the trick.
All right, so that was Jared Meese and a gentleman from the Wall Street Journal trying to ride some dirt track for the first time at Charlotte.
He looked like he had a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know if he actually got the trick down to where he was coming in sideways on the throttle, but in his own mind, he was going fast and he was having fun. And like Jared said, there's not too many people that get to say they get to ride
I have to give
750.
I have to give him a lot of credit for wanting to try.
Exactly.
There aren't too many people that would seriously sit back and take a look that have never ridden anything like this before and go, I want to try that. I want to do that. So kudos to him for
especially
coming out
on a GNC ready race bike.
Exactly,
sure.
at a Grand National racetrack. I mean, this is the top-notch facility, and we're glad to be back here. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the GNC2 Last Chance Qualifier. 18 riders, 8 laps to distance. Top 4 go to the main event. GNC2 riders, you need to be down there in staging right now. After that is the GNC1 Dash for Cash. 6 riders, 4 laps to distance. And we'll come back with 2 GNC1 semifinals. Brad, you're more than welcome to stick around if you want. If you need to go back to the pit area and make some changes on that motorcycle, that your bike's sitting down there. I know it's driving you nuts, but you got a good perspective of what happens.
Yeah, for sure. This is actually almost the best seat in the house to be able to see all these different camera angles and see what's going on. But now I'll probably go give a little bit of expertise on what I've seen and see if we can get a little bit more forward bite out of that number 5 bike.
Well, sounds good. Again, thanks for coming out. Hopefully we'll see you at Calistoga. That's when you're trying to come back?
Yeah, no, that's my plan. I think we're on track for it. I'm going to work hard here in the next, 3-4 weeks and should be in good shape. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, that's the Bullet, Brad Baker. He's going to make his way back to the pit area. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is the GNC2 Last Chance Qualifier. We'll be right back. And passion for excellence lives today in every motorcycle we build. Visit your local Harley-Davidson dealer to witness the evolution of a legend for yourself. For more than 100 years, racing has been the heart and soul of Harley-Davidson Motor Company. Generations of champions have worn the orange and black and ridden our legendary motorcycles to countless winner's circles. And their spirit of victory and passion for excellence lives today in every motorcycle we build. Visit your local Harley-Davidson dealer to witness the evolution of a legend for yourself. Dunlop is the official tire of AMA Pro Flat Track Racing. We make tires in America for racing and street riding, such as our Dunlop American Elite that gives Harley-Davidson riders high mileage at great handling. Please check out the new line of merchandise at the official AMA Pro Flat Track trailer. 2015 brings new products from t-shirts, hoodies, koozies, and more. The official AMA Pro Flat Track team has special deals each week, so please stop by and check us out. Dunlop is proud to be the official tire of AMA Pro Flat Track Racing. No other tire company has won more AMA championships than Dunlop, and what we learn from racing is rolled into our street tires such as Dunlop American Elite that give Harley-Davidson riders high mileage and great handling. Kimco USA, the official sponsor of AMA Pro Flat Track, performance without the high price. Watch for the Kimco scooters and side-by-sides around the track. From 50 cc's to 700 cc's, Kimco scooters, ATVs, and side-by-sides are always the choice for the highest quality at an exceptional value. Get more fun and style than you bargained for. Check out the complete line of Kimco scooters, ATVs, and side-by-sides at KimcoUSA.com. Kimco, choose your path. Dunlop is proud to be the official tire of AMA Pro Flat Track Racing. No other tire company has won more AMA championships than Dunlop. And what we learned from the racing is rolled into our street tires, such as the Dunlop American Elite with multi-tread technology for high mileage and great handling. Ride Dunlop.
While you're here, be sure to check out the Class 79 prints. They've got several items on sale, and 50/50 tickets. Class 79 helps injured riders in our sport. If you get hurt racing flat track, Class 79 steps up and takes care of you. Class 79 on sale, 50/50 tickets on sale underneath the grandstands. Get one while you can.